Welcome back, my midlife mavens. I am your host, Lisai, and I help midlife women learn how to use human design so that you can shed the shoulds and be who you came here to be. This episode of Midlife by Design is the third in a short series this week to celebrate Halloween. And today we are talking about your spirit guides, and I'm going to give you a simple process to connect with them, to ask for their help and guidance, because they are here supporting you day in and day out. And I just invite you to tune in right now because Halloween is the perfect time of year to do that, especially if you feel like it's been hard to connect with them. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right, beauties, welcome back. It is Friday and the third of this short little series to celebrate such a beautiful time of the year, Halloween and Samhain, which I am almost positive I mispronounced in the past as Samhain, because that is exactly how it's spelled, but it is not. It is not how it is pronounced. So today in this final episode of this little mini series, I want to talk about our spirit guides, and I want to talk about how they can help us, how they are here specifically to help us in this world, and how do we actually tap into that help. So if you are feeling disconnected from your intuition in particular, or if you're second guessing yourself and feeling like you're out of sync and maybe that you're not clear. We talked a lot in the last episode about that lack of clarity and that kind of sacred in-between. Then this is the opportunity for you to reconnect with that intuition that will start to give you clarity, that will start to give you direction out of that discomfortable, is that even a word? No. Out of that discomfort of, oh my God, out of that discomfort and out of that uncomfortable place of being in the in-between and calling on our ancestors for help in doing so. So a lot of times I feel like I talk to midlife women who are accomplished and who have had great success in their material lives, in building a career, in being a great mom, in having amazing kids. And I think because of that perceived success, they feel like at this point in their lives, they really should know what to do. They really should know what comes next because they've known all along. And they're still feeling like this inner voice that they're supposed to have is either non-existent or it feels completely elusive. And the first thing I want to point out here is that you may feel like you knew what to do in the past, but for the most part, up until this time in your life, you've just been checking boxes. You've just been following along with society's path of go to school or get a good job or get married, have kids, right? It's like that pattern that is expected. And if you have done that and found some happiness, kudos to you. That is amazing. And plus also, you may, even if you found happiness, be getting to this point and you're like, what the fuck? You just have this what the fuck moment of, well, what now? What am I supposed to do now? So I invite you to know deeply in your heart space at a soul level knowing that you are not alone, that you have guides here with you to help you navigate this lifetime. And when you allow yourself to be open to that, when you allow yourself to reconnect with your own intuition, then that is when signals start to show up, when signs start to show up, when communication starts to show up. And that's where clarity comes from. That is where you can invite in a combination of help from your spirit guides and your intuition, which is your soul, your higher self speaking to you and saying, hey, do this. When you combine those two, that's where true magic happens in midlife. Intuition gets lost because we get caught up in all of the things of life. We get caught up in the hustle culture. We get caught up in the people pleasing. We get caught up in the rush. There's so much to be said about how quickly our world is moving right now and how there's literally so much going on. Like, our brains are not designed for all of the information coming into them, and it's overflow. It's flooding. It's flooding the airwaves. And when it floods, we then are unable to focus, to hear our inner knowing, because we're in this fight or flight mode. We're actually in freeze mode. We're like, we just stop. We can't take in anymore. And what you know from listening to this podcast, from studying human design, from learning about human design, is that your authority is where your inner guidance system lives. Your authority is where your deep intuitive knowing lives. So remember, if you are an emotional authority, which is half the population, then your deep knowing is going to be connected to your feelings. It's going to be connected to waves of feelings and waiting until something feels right, not acting in the moment. If you are a sacral authority, it's that gut. You are the ones who are meant to be hearing, trust your gut, right? It's that gut feeling. If you are a splenic authority, it's the intuitive knowing of the clairs. You're clairaudient, where you hear things. You're clairvoyant, where you see things. You're clairsentient, where you feel things. These are the possible ways that your intuition can be speaking to you through the spleen. If you are an ego authority, it's about your desires. It's about what you have the will to move forward with. If you are a self-projected projector with your G center connected to your throat, it's about you speaking and soundboarding and listening to the tenor of your voice when you talk about what it is that you're struggling with. If you are a mental projector with your throat connected to your ajna or your ajna connected to your head, then could be about soundboarding, especially with the defined throat. And it's also very connected to your environment and being in the right space and time and place that feels comfortable to you to make a decision, to tap into your intuition. Go outside, be in nature. And if you're a reflector, be in nature, be outside, take your time, notice patterns. So those are that inner guidance. And we all know the hormonal chaos that can happen, that does happen in midlife for women, roughly from late 30s to all the way through early 50s. And that is an added layer of internal noise, like nervous system kind of going haywire because it's trying to deal with all of these changes happening. And it also increases your sensitivity. I think it opens up this door to deeper listening. It's definitely an invitation for deeper listening because your body is speaking to you in symptoms that are ready for you to tune in to what you know you need, what your body needs. Your body is telling you in symptoms what it needs. And in order for you to decipher them, there's a real inner knowing and inner listening that has to happen. So I want to invite you for this episode to take a little break at some point during today. Hopefully, as you're listening, today is Halloween. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. Take some time to ground. Get your feet on Mama Earth today. If it's cold where you live, you don't have to take your socks and shoes off, but boy, it's so good to get your bare feet onto the ground, and the ions that are moving through the earth into your body from having that connection is so sacred. So whether you can do that or whether you can just take 2 minutes to ground down and stand wherever you happen to be, pause, take a deep breath, do a body scan, and then ask yourself, what is your body trying to tell you right now? In this moment, if I trusted the first thing that came to me, the very first thing that came to me, oh, my knee hurts. Well, that means I am feeling unsure about this next path that I'm walking into. Whoa, where did that come from? What the hell? It's just my knee. I have bursitis, blah, blah, blah. Do you see how the thought pattern can happen? And you can start to quiet your intuition when your logical brain comes in and tries to explain away what your intuition told you as your first hit. So, how do we tap into that intuitive knowing? If you can't trust it, if your logic brain keeps coming in and like usurping it, I invite you to answer that logic with some questions. Oh, my knee hurts. What is it trying to tell me? Well, this new path that I'm going on is just doesn't feel right. Oh, well, what do you mean? It's just bursitis. Wait a minute. What do I mean this new path doesn't feel right? What is this new path? What is coming to mind when I think about a new path? Here's where you can get into the meat of what's really going on and why your logical brain is coming in. It's paired up with the ego. The ego's like, oh man, let's stay safe. Let's stay same. Same equals safe. Same equals safe. Stay here. New is scary. Okay, I hear you. I hear you, beautiful ego. I hear you, inner child. And let's just get curious. And then I ask you to ask your ancestors. Tap into what they might tell you. And one of the ways I love to do this is if I'm stuck on something, ask for a sign. And I always ask for something that is so fucking obvious that I cannot mistake it for anything else than what I asked for. So if you are asking, let's see, my knee hurts. Let's go back to the knee example. And my intuition is telling me that there's something that feels off about this path that I am about to embark on. And when I did my own thinking about this, I was feeling like it had something to do with this new job offer that I have. And spirit guides, can you please give me a sign about this job offer and make it so obvious? My question is this job offer in alignment with who I want to become? Is it going to help me with who I want to become? There are so many things that make me think that it will. And so I'm not sure if it's my ego or something else that's trying to protect me, or if it's a real hesitation and this isn't the right path. So can you send me a sign that will help me discern whether it's the right or wrong path for me? And you can get even more specific. Let's say you have an inkling about this job. Let's say that you feel like it's probably not the right job for you. If you already feel that, then you can ask more for confirmation from your spirit guides and saying something like, please show me some numbers. Ask for specifics, like show me 1111 today, or show me 333 three times before I fall asleep. And then let it go. Just let it go. You've put out the request. You have asked for their guidance. And now all you need to do is turn on your awareness. And I don't mean looking at the clock when it's 3 o'clock or looking at the clock when it's 11 o'clock. I don't mean constantly looking back at the clock. I mean, let it come to you, because it could show up anywhere. It could show up on a sign. It could show up on a ticket that you draw at the grocery store and it's your number on the ticket. It could show up on your grocery receipt. It could show up as you're scrolling on social media. It could show up as you're reading a book, right? There's so many different ways that it can come into your awareness. And then the last step to this communication with your spirit guides is, maybe not the last step, is to not doubt it. Second to the last step, the penultimate step, is not to doubt it. When you get those 333, let's say you get 3 of those 333 signs, and you were asking for confirmation that this job was indeed not in alignment for you. So you got confirmation. So this step about trusting it takes so much courage for you, right? Because say this job is offering you oodles more money or whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, so you hear it, you acknowledge it, you trust it. And then I would say the last step is to thank your ancestors. When you receive these messages, just say, even out loud, or if you can't say it out loud for whatever reason, in your head, just say, thank you. I see the sign. Thank you. I asked for the sign. I'm seeing the sign. I'm recognizing the sign. Thank you. And here's the thing. I know that sometimes you're still not going to follow through on the nudges that you get from your spirit guides and from your own intuition. I know it. I'm positive of it because you are a human. But what I would say is, whenever you are bucking your intuition, whenever you are taking action against your intuition and you are knowingly doing it, then I want you to just say with intention, okay, I am going to do this action, which is not following the intuitive hit that I got. And I recognize that. And I'm doing it because of this. You're basically just raising your awareness and helping yourself as well as your ancestors reconcile what's happening. So, I mean, listen, your ancestors are in the spirit realm, so they don't give a fuck, right? That in terms of like whether you do it or you don't do it, this is up to you. You have free will. But for you to acknowledge that you're not doing it gives you an opportunity to say, still thank you. Thank you for the guidance. And I am still making this choice. And then it also raises your awareness. So you are able to then go back and say, okay, well, how did that decision work out? You know, did my intuitive knowing actually have the right answer? And shit, I should have listened to it. Or did my logic overtake me and it got me to this place and this is working for now, or whatever the case may be? It gives you an opportunity for some self-study. So in closing, I want you to understand that this is such a beautiful phase for you to trust your inner knowing again, to continue building this muscle that you have had your entire life that has been quieted over the years. And hopefully in midlife, you are already starting to nurture it. And this is the kind of thing that I support in my one-to-one coaching, helping you look at your human design and say, okay, starting with authority. What is your authority? How does that feel in your body? How does it play out in your life? Let's start practicing with that and giving you support around that. And then going even deeper into some of your other placements and whatever happens to be going on in your life to help you navigate, to give you the language to use to navigate and to tap into your intuition as you're making your way through this midlife portal. So I hope that this short series has been supportive for you, has been helpful in terms of making you feel connected to your ancestors, to where you came from, and also to where you are going and what this new phase of life gets to look like when you are creating it by your own design. And as always, I am sending you love and signing off with a wish for you to live your midlife by your design. I so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed this short little series to celebrate Halloween. I hope that if you're listening on Halloween, that you have a blessed Samhain, and that you get out and enjoy nature, and that you also celebrate with fun and revelry and just understanding the connection and why we actually celebrate this time of year. And as always, I am wishing you the strength to let go of what no longer serves you, joy to fill your days, and the clarity to be who you came here to be.